the bottom of the Premier League. So the one team I wanted to focus on particularly for the next couple of minutes is Leicester City. Obviously, sacked Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah.
They've then lost their next couple of games. It's looking increasingly more difficult for them now. I know that they're only 2 points below Everton in the bottom, one place from bottom. But without a manager, without getting the results, it looks bad for them. But there was reports over the weekend that they were approaching former Leeds United manager Jesse Marsch.
Yeah.
But that now looks like they've decided, or they're considering against that because of his record at Leeds.
It's a strange one because they have been holding talks with him, and it's almost like they're holding talks with him because he's available, not necessarily because they see him as a good manager to come in. He hasn't done anything with Leeds to warrant that, and I mean his last 8 games before he got sacked at Leeds was 7 losses and 1 draw. So I think when you hiring a manager and also you really think about it, you think, oh, actually, do you know what? Look at his record at Leeds, didn't do anything there.
Yeah.
Poor showing for the past X amount of games. But then again, on the flip side, I don't think Leicester are in a position to really say, I want a better manager because they're in a terrible position at the moment and they're losing games, they're conceding goals, they're not playing great football, and then they're in real danger of getting relegated. So to be honest, they just need someone to come in and just get them out of this relegation zone and then start again in the summer.
Would you go for someone like a Jesse Marsch who?
I don't think Jesse Marsch is. I don't think there's a guarantee or silver bullet manager out there that will keep him up. But I don't think Jesse Marsch is someone that's you can really put your confidence in.
No, that's what I was thinking. Obviously, if you're in the bottom 3, you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, we need a manager who's been here, done that, bought the t-shirt, a manager who knows how to grind out wins, a manager who knows how to get the team not playing the best football in the world, but survival football. And Jesse Marsch has obviously only had half a season in the Premier League, and that half a season put Leeds into the bottom 3. It's like, is he the right man for the job to get them out of it? I don't think so. Maybe if they were looking for the future and perhaps a season in the Championship and a manager to bring them back up, maybe someone like Marsch would be a good manager for them. But if they're thinking about survival, I just don't think that he's the right guy for the job.
It depends what. I think that there's 2 ways of looking at it. So if they're looking for a manager that just wants to get them out, then I don't think, as I say, you can put your faith into Jesse Marsch. But if you're looking for someone long term, that if we do get relegated, then is going to play attractive football and get us back up there. Maybe, I don't know. He done well at, was it Leipzig before?
Yeah.
Or Salzburg? I'm not sure which one it was.
I mean, at times he was playing great football at Leeds as well. Like I remember watching, I think it was Leeds against Chelsea and also Leeds against Liverpool. They looked really, they were in the team's faces. They were press.
It's easy to beat Liverpool then, though, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Obviously, looking back in the season now, I think a lot of people will say, "Oh, they beat Leeds, they beat Liverpool and Chelsea." Like everyone's doing that at the moment. But at that time when they done it, the teams weren't on the bad run of form as though what they're on now, and the way that they played in, like for example, you could turn around and say, "Oh yeah, but these 2 teams are in bad form," but you still have to play well. And when I watched them play, especially in the Chelsea game, I was actually impressed with the way they were playing. And I think if they did bring him in and he had because obviously I think Leicester, even if they do stay up, they have an uphill battle next season because they need to invest money into their squad if they want to.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the games they've got left there. So they've got the Man City away next. Then they've got Wolves, who are obviously down there. They've got Leeds, who are down there. They've got Everton, who are down there. They've got Fulham, who, are safe. And then Liverpool, Newcastle, West Ham. So in them running games, you would think that the games to win there are obviously Wolves, Leeds, Everton. But I can't see them going and getting the wins there.
Well, the bad news for them is that Wolves just beat Chelsea, so they're going to be buoyed on the back of that. Leeds
that's not hard either.
Yeah, well, but Leeds are on the back of was it Forest that
5-1 to Palace, they lost.
Yeah, so okay, good point on Leeds. But, you know, you would kind of still be worried if you was Leicester that you'd be thinking, okay, well, Wolves, they're not a bad team. I don't think Wolves are going to go down this season. I think that they've got just about enough to survive.
Yeah.
Whereas
It's the
Leicester,
change of language for them. Like that, rather than them games being, okay, these are the games where we pick up the 3 points. Now it's like, okay, this is the game where we have to pick up them 3 points.
yeah,
And that's the difference now because there's no confidence
yeah.
anymore. And the players aren't reacting, they're not playing, like
It's kind of
they're
hard
lost.
when, like, if you're a player and you've been playing so long under Brendan Rodgers, and then suddenly Brendan Rodgers leaves, whether you agree with the decision for him to go or not, and then
Yeah.
suddenly now you're without a manager. Like what? Like as a player, what would you be thinking? Like we haven't got a manager in. We're not playing well. We're losing. The board are taking their time over an appointment. Like
Yeah.
it's just going to get worse and worse and worse for them. And the big worry would be that by the time they bring in a Premier League manager, they could be
Yeah.
adrift in the bottom two.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously had Bournemouth yesterday, which again is one of them games where they would consider it to be a must-win game, and they lost, and they didn't really look like that was going to do anything in that game. And I think Bournemouth, personally, I think they've got enough about them to stay in the league as well. So, but they're not any better than Wolves, and I don't
Yeah,
think they're any. Well, probably better than Leeds, I'd say, but they're not massive amounts, not head and shoulders above them. But then also you got the reflect the other side as well. So look at the players.
yeah,
A lot of players in that team aren't going to want to play Championship football. James Maddison, Harvey Barnes, Ndidi, Iheanacho, like these players they're not going to want to drop down. So then how many players do they lose?
yeah.
Can they get promoted straight away?
And then obviously we've been
The Premier
relegated
League?
as well. They lose the money that comes with being in the Premier League. It becomes a very
Obviously.
it kind of filters back into the conversation we had last time about
Yeah.
clubs in the Championship, especially relegated clubs in the Championship, finding it a lot harder to get out of it because of that loss of revenue, that loss of money. If they can
Yeah.
somehow convince the bulk of their players to give them one season in the Championship, it gives them a better chance. But I just don't think Leicester are giving themselves a fighting chance of staying up at the moment.
That's the thing. I just feel like they have to stay up.
Yeah.
And appointing someone like Jesse Marsch, which yes, to think about now, which I think is the right thing to do, but appointing someone like Jesse Marsch isn't. I don't think it's going to automatically save them. To be honest with
No, I think obviously there was rumours that they were approaching Graham Potter when he lost the job at Chelsea, but Potter distanced himself from the job. So they have been looking at someone. I just the thing that hits me is that you're in the bottom three, you're losing games, and then the managers that you're looking at going for, are they the right managers? Like, is Potter the right manager?
I guess no one really knows, do they? I think Potter would have been a good signing for them because
In a bottom
if they
three?
did get if they did get relegated, he's got enough about him to get him back up again.
But would Potter want that though? I mean, okay,
Probably not, which is why he turned it down.
he didn't do very well at Chelsea, I agree, but prior to that, he was doing very well with Brighton. He would surely
Yeah,
be looking at a mid-table Premier League club,
that's
saying,
probably why he turned Leicester down. Yeah,
yeah. And I think Leicester go in for that. But I just think Leicester need now to bring someone in who can just steady them and grind out some results, grind out some fixtures, grind out some, 3 points here, 3 points there, draw here, draw there, and just try and just lift them that little bit because at the moment they look like a team that's playing like they're already down. They've got no confidence when they actually play. They've got a few brilliant players like Harvey Barnes, Maddison, players that we've mentioned, but even at the moment they don't look like they've got any confidence when they play. I think
yeah.
Maddison gave away the ball for one of the goals yesterday when they played. I think, or was it the last game they played? As a poor back pass from Maddison, which opened up for Bournemouth to score their goal. And it just seems a bit like,
I think for me personally, if I was the Leicester board now, I'd be chasing Patrick Vieira. That's who I would go for. I think